Today's video is on Zoroastrianism. The religion of ancient Persia was founded by the prophet Zoroaster, somewhere between 700 BC and 6000 BC. Scholars do not agree on the date. The chronicles maintain that it was at least 4,000 years BC, if not earlier. This is based on linguistic similarities between the Old Avestan language, or the Zoroastrian Gathas, and the Sanskrit of the Rig Veda, a collection of early Vedic hymns. Diogenes mentions that Zoroaster lived 5,000 years before the Trojan War, which would give a date of approximately 6200 BC. Nevertheless, Zoroastrianism is arguably the oldest monotheistic religion in the world, and it developed into one of the major religions that bears the closest resemblance to Judaism and Christianity. All three religions share many of the same tenets. Most scholars agree that the teachings preceded the Jewish religion. Cyrus the Great, founder of the Achaemenid Persian Empire, was a devout Zoroastrian. When Cyrus conquered Babylon in 539 BC, he liberated the Babylonian Jews. Many returned to Jerusalem, where they rebuilt the temple. Zoroaster was originally a Magian priest who reformed the beliefs of the Magi based on personal revelations. His teachings are preserved in the Avesta. A comparison with that of India shows that his teachings have much in common with the early religion of the Hindus. For example, Zoroaster taught that there were four 3,000-year cycles that made up a larger 12,000-year cycle, which the Chronicles has explained in other videos. The 12,000 years are a half cycle of the full 24,000-year cycle, which defines the length of civilizations on Earth. It is also the cause of the precession of the equinoxes. This is in complete accord with the Indian yugas. As an aside, notice the similarity between 12 and 24 hours of the day. Zoroastrianism espouses dualism, whereby the physical world is composed of pairs of opposites: up, down, hot, cold, left, right, good, and evil, which are personified as principles at war with one another. Ahura Mazda leads the forces of good, while Ahriman leads the forces of evil. Bands of angels follow Ahura Mazda, while legions of demons follow Ahriman. Ahura is the creator, judge, benefactor, protector, and upholder of truth, and Asha, the cosmic order and the source of all knowledge. He is the formless, infinite being, the destroyer of evil. Thus, there is a continual battle between light and darkness. As with Judean Christian beliefs, good triumphs over evil. Zoroaster viewed life as a struggle between Asa, truth, and Druj, lies. The concept of Asa is the foundation of all Zoroastrian beliefs, including that of Ahura Mazda, who is Asa, creation that is Asa, existence that is Asa, and as the condition for free will, which is Zoroaster's greatest contribution to religious philosophy. The purpose of mankind, like that of all creation, is to sustain Asa. Humans sustain Asa through participation in life and by the exercise of constructive thoughts, words, and deeds. In this struggle, man is the important figure, for the ultimate triumph of right depends upon him, as man has a free will to choose the path he takes. One leads to darkness, while the other leads to light. The purpose of Zoroaster's teachings are to guide man to choose the right path, to lead him in the way towards ultimate perfection. Towards this goal, Zoroaster preached good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Man in his daily life is to preserve purity of body and soul. Truth speaking and honest dealings are made the basis of every action. Kindliness and generosity are virtues to be cultivated. Rejection of evil is the common thread that runs through most religions. Zoroaster teaches that the rejection of evil is not something that only happens in the higher spiritual worlds between beings of light and darkness. It happens right here on earth. It is the inherent problem of existence from which escape is possible by a conscious effort to live righteously, freeing one's soul from sin. Zoroaster believed that the material world is afflicted with the evils of death, decay, and disintegration due to the presence of Ahriman, not as a punishment, but as a learning experience in the physical world to help man return to the eternal order of progression from which he came. The points of resemblance between Zoroastrianism and Judeo-Christian beliefs are many. Ahura Mazda is viewed as omniscient, omnipresent, and eternal. He is endowed with a creative power which he exercises through the medium of his Spentum Manu, or Holy Spirit. He governs the universe through his angels and archangels. Like Satan, Ahriman's dominion will be destroyed at the end of the world. The most striking belief that Zoroaster taught was the principle of regeneration. Christ taught the same, as will be shown in future videos. The chronicles maintain that regeneration is the secret of life. The three religions agree regarding their cosmological beliefs. The 6 days of creation in Genesis finds a parallel in the 6 periods of creation described by Zoroaster. Mankind is descended from a single couple, and Masha and Mashana are the Iranian Adam and Eve. In the Bible, a deluge destroys all people except for Noah and his family. In the Avesta, a winter depopulates the earth, except in the Vara enclosure of the blessed Yima. The 3 sons of Yima's successor repopulate the world, as did Noah's 3 sons. It is a historic fact that the Jews and the Persians were in contact with one another at an early period in antiquity. Thus, most scholars are of the opinion that Judaism and Christianity were heavily influenced by Zoroastrianism. The Chronicles agrees with this assessment, however, not by direct descent. We believe that all religions descend from the same universal source, and hence they cannot but reflect the similarity of such truths. Cosmic law is the same regardless of what side of the earth one's on. Some Zoroastrians also believe that the souls are born in the material world as per the decree of God to overcome their defects and achieve perfection. Life upon the earth is therefore a great opportunity for the souls to refine their character and become perfect beings of light. The Zoroastrian cosmogony is based on the belief that God fashioned and shaped the world in which we live as a conscious decision. However, it is not the only world that he brought into existence. Before he shaped our material world, he created an invisible spiritual realm, which he populated with spiritual entities from his own light. He created lords or ahuras, archangels and guardian angels, and other luminaries. He made sure that evil would not be able to enter this world. It is a world of 1,000,000 suns where darkness has no place. He also sanctified it with his holy order, or Asha, by establishing perfect harmony and division of powers amongst its gatekeepers. The beings of the spiritual realm personify his qualities, and serve as ideals of truth and cosmic law for others to follow. Next, he created the material world and populated it with plants, animals, minerals, and humans. He created the earth and the sky. He brought forth fire, water, and air. These are the physical or material aspects of the same entities that populate the higher realm. Both are mirror images that differ in the nature of their constitution. And one of the Gathas, Zoroaster, said, quote, "Which seems to you the more advantageous when I shall present you to the world? That you shall contend in a bodily form with the fiend, and their fiend shall perish, and in the end I shall have you prepared again, perfect and immortal, and in the end give you back to the world, and you will be wholly immortal, undecaying and undisturbed." End of quote. Notice the words being used here, perfect and immortal. You will be wholly immortal, undecaying, and undisturbed. Does not the word undecaying imply incorruptibility? How does one become incorruptible and undecaying? Did Jesus teach these universal truths? The chronicles believe that he did.